Once upon a time, in a faraway land surrounded by mountains and rivers, there was a beautiful kingdom called Zoraya. The people of Zoraya loved their king and queen because they were kind and fair. The king and queen had a daughter named Princess Amara. She was their only child, and she was as beautiful as the morning sun. Her hair was long and shiny like threads of gold, and her eyes sparkled like the stars at night. But what made her special wasn't just her beauty. Princess Amara had a kind heart. She cared for the poor, the sick, and even the animals in the royal kingdom. Now, Princess Amara lived in a big golden palace. The palace had tall towers that touched the clouds and gardens, filled with flowers of every color. But Amara was not happy. You see, even though she had everything she could just want, jewels, dresses, and delicious food, her heart felt empty. The only thing she wanted most was freedom. She wanted to live like the common people, to walk in the streets, to feel the wind on her face without girls following her around. One day, when Princess Amara turned 18, the king and queen told her something that changed everything. They had arranged for her to marry Prince Malik, a rich and powerful prince from a nearby kingdom. The marriage was supposed to unite their kingdoms and make them stronger. But Amara had never met Prince Malik, and she didn't love him. She wanted to choose her own path, not have it chosen for her. That night, as the kingdom celebrated her upcoming wedding, Amara sat by her window looking at the stars. Her heart was heavy and tears rolled down her cheeks. She decided she could not marry someone she didn't love. She made a bold decision. She would leave the palace and find a new life where no one knew she was a princess. Before the sun rose the next morning, Amara packed a small bag. She took a simple dress, a loaf of bread, and small gold necklace her mother had given her. She changed into the plain dress, covering the royal clothes, and wrapped her golden hair in a scarf. Quietly, she slipped out of the palace through a secret passage that only she knew about. Her heart raced as she left behind the life she had always known. Amara walked for hours, leaving the grand city behind. The roads became narrower, and soon she found herself in the countryside. She was tired and hungry, but she kept going. She had no idea where she was headed, but she felt free for the first time in her life. As the sun began to set, Amara came across a small village. The houses were made of mud and straw, and the streets were busy with farmers, traders, and children playing. She decided to stay there at least for a while. To avoid suspicion, she told everyone her name was Mara, leaving out the princess. In the village, Amara met a young man named Kofi. Kofi was the son of a farmer, and he worked hard every day, helping his father plant crops and take care of their animals. He had strong arms for working in the fields, and his smile was warm and kind. Unlike the princes and lords Amara had met at the palace, Kofi was humble and simple. He didn't care about riches or power. He cared about his land, his family, and the people in the village. Kofi saw Amara sitting by the well one day. She looked tired and lost, and he felt sorry for her. "Are you new here?" he asked with a friendly smile. Amara nodded. "Yes, I just arrived. I'm looking for work." Kofi thought for a moment. "My father and I could use some help on our farm. It's not much, but we can offer you food and a place to stay." Amara was grateful. She had never worked on a farm before, but she was willing to learn. "Thank you," she said. And so she began her new life as a farmhand, working alongside Kofi and his family. Life on the farm was not easy for Amara. She woke up early every morning to milk the cows, feed the chicken, and water the crops. Her hands, which were once soft and smooth, became rough from the hard work. But Amara didn't mind. For the first time in her life, she felt useful. She learned how to cook simple meals, sew clothes, and even laugh at Kofi's silly jokes. As days turned into weeks, Amara and Kofi became close friends. They would sit under the big mango tree after work, talking about their dreams. Kofi wanted to buy more land and grow enough crops to feed the entire village. Amara, though she couldn't reveal her royal past, shared her love for helping people. She admired Kofi's kindness and his love for his simple life. Before long, their friendship grew into something deeper. Amara found herself looking forward to seeing Kofi every day. And Kofi, though he didn't say it out loud, felt the same way about Amara. They were happy, but Amara knew deep down that her secret couldn't stay hidden forever. One fateful day, a royal guard arrived in the village. He was searching for the missing princess. He showed a portrait of Amara to the villagers, asking if anyone had seen her. Kofi recognized the face immediately. It was Mara, the kind girl who had been working on his farm. When the guard left, Kofi confronted Mara. "Is it true? Are you really the princess?" Amara's eyes filled with tears. She couldn't lie to him anymore. "Yes," she admitted. "I am Princess Amara. I ran away because I didn't want to marry a prince I don't love. I wanted to live a simple life. I wanted to be free." Kofi was shocked but also hurt. "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" "I was afraid," Amara said. "I didn't want you to treat me differently." Kofi was silent for a long time. Finally, he said, "I don't care if you're a princess or a farmhand. I care about the person you are. But your past has caught up to you. What will you do now?" The royal guard returned the next day, this time with more men. They demanded that Amara return to the palace. "Your wedding to Prince Malik must take place," the chief guard said firmly. "Your parents are worried sick." Amara looked at Kofi, her heart breaking. She didn't want to leave him, but she also didn't want to disobey her parents. She had to make a choice. "Tell my parents that I will return," she said to the guards, "but only on one condition." "What condition?" they asked. "That I will marry the man I love, not Prince Malik." The girls were shocked, but they agreed to take her message to the king and queen. Days later, word came from the palace. The king and queen, though disappointed, loved their daughter too much to force her into a marriage they didn't want. They agreed to her condition. Amara returned to the palace, this time with Kofi by her side. The villagers cheered for them, and even the king and queen grew to love Kofi for his humility and courage. Amara and Kofi were married in a grand celebration, but they chose to live a simple life, helping the people of the kingdom. And so the princess and the farmer's son proved that love, honesty, and courage could overcome even the greatest obstacles. They lived happily after, and their story was told for generations.